Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's still summertime, but school is right around the corner, and with the new school year comes fall high school sports. Tonight, that includes boys and girls soccer here on ETV. We have them for you tonight, so sit down, strap in, get ready for some exciting soccer action here as the Eagan Wildcat boys and girls host the East Ridge Raptors. Raptors coming in off of a season in which they exited in the section semifinals. Coach Bunnell has that team ready to roll with a heavy senior and junior class, and they are looking to improve on their result from last year. Coach Sherry Ekstrom for the Eagan Wildcats took her team to the section finals, losing 1-0 to Rosemount, a very good Rosemount team, and so they're looking to make some improvements as well. Just had the national anthem, and I'll give you the starting lineups and call out some of the names here as we proceed. Wildcats will be moving left to right on your television set, wearing the green jerseys with green socks, green shorts, blue trim, blue numbers, which from a commentator standpoint can sometimes be a bit challenging. East Ridge, on the other hand, is going to be in white, all white with gold numbers, which also, from this perspective, gives the commentator just a little bit of a challenge, but we'll try to get those numbers and names as best we can. Going to be kicking off here. That's Caitlin Matzik standing over the ball, one of this year's senior captains, and center referee Zachariah Ali blows his whistle, and we are now underway. Give you the starting lineup for the Wildcats. In goal, Natalie Valaga. Defenders are Anna Enning, Kira Waldrop, Kate Cron, and Ava Leitenberg. The ball goes out of bounds for a green throw with Yen Lee, Maddie Hobbs, Mallory Jensen, and Olivia Enning in the midfield. Josie Seehafer up with Matzik in the striker position. Wildcats this year will be employing a couple of different formations. We'll see which one takes predominance tonight, as now they've slipped into basically kind of a three-back versus a four-back. East Ridge High School girls program, very successful over the last handful of years. 5 out of the last 6 years, they've made it to the section finals, including a state appearance. But last year, again, being stopped in the section semifinals means this group and this crew definitely want to make an improvement on that result. Jensen with it there. I believe that's Wildman, the sophomore, number 13. Coach Bunnell was very specific in calling her out in pregame, talking about her being one of the engines and playmakers there in the midfield. We've got an early foul here against the Wildcats on the far side. First opportunity for the East Ridge Raptors to get forward and have some sort of set-piece opportunity. That's a beautiful in-swinging ball from a right foot. It's cleared away there by Leitenberg. Battling with it now. The ball comes flipping through, slides through. The ball comes in on goal, or towards goal, I should say, but does go wide. And it was deflected out by Valaga, so we're going to call that a shot on goal.
Shot was taken by Liv Penman, number 17. It is a corner kick for East Ridge, their first of the game.
So it'll be their first corner kick for East Ridge. We'll call that a shot and a save. It's a good corner. It comes in and it's going to be harmlessly sent away. Certainly East Ridge would have wanted a little more activity there. We'll see if we can get some of the East Ridge players for you, and welcome to everybody watching us in the South Washington School District, a larger part of Washington County, or anybody in the city of Woodbury. As this ball breaks for Seehafer. Seehafer on it. She's being watched there by McKenna. McKenna and Seehafer now battling for it. Seehafer still with it, taking on a handful of Raptors. The ball comes out to Leitenberg. Langenberg's going to use her right foot, send it in towards Swidarski. And Swidarski does a nice job just smothering that ball.
Save made, Sammy Swidarski.
Sammy Swidarski in goal, and Coach Bunnell did indicate that we will likely see two different goalies tonight. That's part of the plan. Lauren Edlund, the other goalie on the roster. Check that, actually there are two other goalies on the roster. So we'll have to see what Coach decides to do with it. Much like last year, imagine that the Wildcats will have more success when they're able to string three or four passes together in the midfield, as opposed to a situation where the Raptors are able to close them down. So if the Raptors give the Wildcats some room in the midfield, imagine the Wildcats are probably going to be fairly successful. So far, the Raptors doing a nice job of quickly closing down the players in green. Thanks for joining us here on ETV. It's our first opportunity to broadcast with you this year for high school sports. We're going to be covering a lot of high school sports. We'll talk about a little bit about the future schedule, or the schedule coming up here as the game progresses. But we're grateful that you've joined us here, and hopefully have an opportunity to watch these young athletes play and have a great game tonight. There's a nice one-touch combination from Matzik to Enning. Enning on the overlap. She is a freshman, the only freshman on this roster for the Wildcats. East Ridge Raptors also only have one freshman this year, very dominated by juniors and seniors this year. As Seehafer pressures McKenna in the corner, it's cleared by Swidarski. Slips by Waldrop. Now the Raptors are going to break, although when the assistant referee stops the momentum of the ball, it usually means it's gone out of bounds. I guess at least you certainly hope that's the case. Again, we'll try to trying to get the defenders here for the East Ridge Raptors. McGowan, Pursby, McKenna, who we've already mentioned, and Bolstad are your starters. In the midfield, you've got Wildman, as previously mentioned, and Goldsworthy. And then the forwards, so kind of a 4-2-4 look. See how many of those forwards stick in the forward position. There's Seehafer sending it towards goal, and it's going to slide wide.
Goal kick for the Raptors.
Forwards for the East Ridge Raptors, Ellevold, Kozlowski,
Last shot taken, Josie Seehafer,
Atkin,
number 18.
and Penman. Still early in this one. We'll see what the Raptors want to do here as ball comes out towards Jensen. It's claimed by Hobbs. Check that was Olivia Enning on it. Apologies, sometimes the girls, especially early in the season, have changed their numbers from last year. And when you're a commentator trying to learn girls by numbers, it gets a little bit challenging, especially when at this distance they sometimes can look alike. That ball claimed by Valaga. Natalie Valaga, a new goalie here for the Wildcats. Last 2 years, London Anderson manned the goal area for the Wildcats. As this ball slips past the defenders. Here's Seehafer on a break, but it's going to roll into Swidarski. Smartly done by that time by Sammy Swidarski. She had gone backwards even a couple of steps. She might not have been able to get to that ball, and Seehafer would have had a golden opportunity.
That's the pressure for the Wildcats. Josie Seehafer, number 18.
To finish the point on Valaga. Valaga taking over for London Anderson as this ball is slid through nicely for Seehafer from Hobbs. Seehafer shoots, and Swidarski smothers it up. Seehafer under pressure from McKenna. Nicely done that time by Seehafer. Great pass by Hobbs. And McKenna doing a nice job of pressuring Seehafer. Giving Seehafer more room would have made Swidarski's job even that much more difficult. Little flick from Enning. Falls for Seehafer. Actually fell for Matzik, who flicked it over to Seehafer. Yen Lee out to Jensen. Jensen's going to swing it wide. And there's Enning. And that ball's going to roll out of bounds for a goal kick.
Let's see, a goal kick for East Ridge.
I want to take this opportunity. The booster clubs would like to take this opportunity to thank the platinum and gold sponsors for Eagan Wildcat Soccer. The platinum sponsors: Eagan Arms Public House, great Ruben, Twin Cities Orthopedics, Urgency Room, Wave Soccer Club, and Willie's Edina Realty. Thank you so much for being platinum sponsors of this program. It means so much to these girls and boys to be able to play in this situation. As that ball goes out now for a corner, and the Wildcats are going to have their first corner. The gold sponsors: Ansari's Mediterranean Grill, Rami Cormont at Coldwell Banker, Denise Schoberg at Keller Williams Elite Meat Soccer, Orza Poke and Ramen, Teresa's Mexican Restaurant, ZZQ Barbecue, Birchwood Dental, Devani's Divine Salon, Escape With Us Vacations, Sam's Club, Union Fit Men, MN, and Zerbel Orthodontics. As that ball comes in, it finds Lee. Yen Lee gets ahead to it, comes flicking on, and Swardarski comes off her line to claim that ball. There's an opportunity there for the Wildcats. What a shot on goal. Initially, there was some real pressure by the Raptors, but right now the Wildcats are ahead in shots, 4-2. Cron and Waldrop are your center backs, and Kira Waldrop has been on the varsity team now since she was a freshman, as has Cron, the sophomore. So we're going to have two, you would say, inexperienced center backs for the Wildcats, but as last year those positions were manned by two seniors. But in fact, both of those players, Waldrop and Cron, did play defense for the Wildcats and played in virtually every game last year. As Yen Lee digs it out of her cleats and looks for Enning. Doesn't quite fall for her, though. Now the Wildcats are going to have to retreat, but now you've got a situation where those two players are going to have to man the center of the defense, and of course for Coach Sherry Ekstrom, the center of the defense is extremely important. This team has not given up, has historically not given up too many goals, meaning that offensively, if they can put the ball in the net on a regular basis, they should be successful. Maggie McGowan, number 9, standing over it for the Raptors, is going to send it towards the penalty area. One there by two players, one from each team, as the ball comes out now. And ball sent generally in the general direction of the goal. That was Bolstead coming from her outside defensive position.
Goal kick, Wildcats.
Yeah, goal kick for the Wildcats.
Substitutions for the Wildcats into the game: Kylie Weisendonner, number 17. Courtney Bumpers, number 3.
Weisendonner, number 17, and Bumpers, number 3, are going to come in at forward. So Matzik and Seehafer are going to get a bit of a rest. Bumpers is going to take an attempt at that. The Wildcats are going to change up their personnel. Wildcat coach Sherry Ekstrom very clear in us in our pregame preparation that she expects a lot of running, and if that means that they have to rotate their forwards on a very quick basis, maybe 10 to 12 minutes at a time, they'll do it. Ball intercepted there by the Raptors, as Yen Lee, who had played outside last year as a junior, is playing a holding midfielder position there in the center of the field. And good turn there by the Raptors, and that ball's over the top. Very athletic back line for the Wildcats. Even if you've got to step on them, they will run you down, as much of that back line is part of the Eagan track team. Some of them have even been on state champion track squads. Another shot on goal there for the Raptors as they mount a little bit of offensive pressure. The Wildcat back line, though, very, very stout, despite the fact that there have been some changes. And two all-state center backs graduated, and the Wildcats reloaded. Wildcats with a nice passing combination. This falls for Jensen. Jensen puts it towards the net. Oh, and Mal Jensen.
That shot taken by
That's a quality shot. Swidarski had to really get in the air for that one. It did slide wide, but you like Jensen's chances if she's given that type of time. It was a nice passing combination, and you see there that if the Wildcats are able to put together 4 or 5 good passes in the midfield or even in the attacking third, they're going to tend to be very successful.
Substitution for Eastridge into the game is number 41, Brooklyn Gonorway.
Brooklyn Gonorway is going to come in now for the Raptors.
Going off number 21.
She is the freshman on the team, as Weisendotter is going to apply some pressure. Building from the back is what the Raptors are trying to do here, but as I said, it's going to be challenging. Both teams are going to press fairly hard. This ball comes in for Weisendotter and almost gets to her, but smartly played behind the net, that time by the Raptors defense. It's going to set up another corner. It's the second corner of the game for the Wildcats.
Wildcats, their second.
And this East Ridge Raptors program boasts 15 seniors and 29 juniors. 29 juniors. As the in-swinging Weisendotter corner comes in and goes behind for a goal kick. It was a good in-swinger. Nobody in green could get ahead to it. But a program with 15 seniors and 29 juniors, that's really an embarrassment of riches from an upperclassman standpoint.
Substitution for the
Wildcats.
Number 22,
as Emma Fetzich comes in
the game
for her first varsity
action.
action. Fetzich, a new player here on the varsity team, played JV last year for the Wildcats, as Jensen takes another shot. It's parried aside by Swiderski, and it's put in the net, but we're going to have an offsides flag. The flag is up. Seehafer was in an offsides position after the save.
No goal. It is offside, Wildcats.
That's unlucky for the Wildcats, and Swiderski puts it in play very quickly. Not sure her defenders even knew she was going to do that. Unlucky for Seehafer, but that's definitely the kind of play that you'd like to see. Crashing for rebounds is never a bad thing. As Enning's throw comes in and finds Weisendotter. Fetzich gets dumped. Check that. That's Maddie Hobbs. Maddie Hobbs gets dumped, and a little bit of contact there. As Weisendotter tries to flick that towards goal. Weisendotter still going. She's going to serve up one of her teammates. No, she's going to take it on her left foot. It's blocked. Unlucky that time for Weisendotter. Nicely done then by Enning. Enning does a nice job. Now finds Fetzich in the middle. Fetzich is going to serve that in. There's a little bit of excitement there from Emma Fetzich that wasn't sure if she was actually going to goal or if she was trying to serve it in for one of her forwards, and ended up in the hands of Swiderski. Wildcats so far demonstrating some good pressure on Swiderski.
Goal kick, East Ridge.
And you imagine if Jensen's can get those kicks on target, there are going to be some potential opportunities.
Maddie Schillings, number 27.
And Maddie Schilling, number 27, coming on for the Raptors.
Eagan, number 15.
So she's going to take Atkins' place in the midfield. And again, the Raptors going to build from the back. Check it. They're going to actually swing it out here to Bolstead. Bolstead controls. Tries to hoist it forward. Nicely done. Flicked on that time by, I think, Wildman. Check it. That's Penman. Waldrop watching the Raptors there as that ball's flicked, scuffed towards Valaga. Nicely done that time by Natalie Valaga. Ball flicks over everybody. That's Courtney Bumpers on the outside. She sends it with a right foot towards Swiderski. Swiderski claims it. That was going wide.
Shot taken, Courtney Bumpers, number 3 for the Wildcats.
Just over 22 minutes remaining here in the first half. Score 0-0. Shoulder-to-shoulder challenge that time by Hobbs. Hobbs nicely done. Sends it forward. Could not quite slide it forward for Weisendotter. Nicely done as Weisendotter was making a run. Hobbs recognized it and tried to slide it forward. And doing a nice job there, forcing East Ridge to move it to the outside, but they do with ease. Ball comes in, gets by at least one Wildcat, claimed by Waldrop. Little rub there from behind. As Anna Enning, the freshman, gets pushed around a little bit. Now you've got Leitenberg on the outside, sends the ball forward for Bumpers. Bumpers is going to have a nice run here, but she's going to get there. Is she going to be able to control it? She does. Loses a little bit of a touch. Weisendonner gets it on her foot, sends it back out for Leitenberg. Leitenberg with the left foot sends it towards goal. Nicely done. Claimed by Swidarski. Sammy Swidarski making good decisions in goal is going to be key for Eastridge. More and more shots that they have.
Save made by Sammy Swidarski.
Going to see some substitutions here shortly here for both squads. Josie Seehafer coming back on for Bumpers.
Back into the game. Josie Seehafer, number 18. Going out Courtney Bumpers, number 3. For the Raptors into the game is Elise Herr, number 12.
Elise Herr, number 12, coming on. Sophomore coming on for the Raptors. So Seehafer battling there on the corner. Looks like it's going to be a green throw. That is a Wildcat throw. It's going to be interesting to see how these players can gel together for the Wildcats. There's clearly physical talent. There's clearly the ability to move up and down the field. Can they play together? Can they pass together? Can they work together? Can they coexist? Can they communicate? Can the defense use Natalie Valaga, who is a well-renowned futsal player? Can they use her as an extra player, an extra marker, to be able to move the ball and switch the ball from side to side? All of these questions yet to be answered. It's the equivalent of a mystery novel. You're going to have to stay with us till the end of the season to find out what happens. Ball comes into Hobbs. Hobbs is dispossessed. Nicely done that time by, I believe it's Kozlowski. Ball comes over the top, falls for Cron. Tries to flick through it. Comes back to Cron. Cron finds Seehafer with a good turn. But nicely done that time. That's McGowan cleaning up the senior defender from the center back position, cleaning it up and not letting Seehafer make a run. Like the job by Seehafer there to allow that ball by her and shield the ball as it runs.
Into the game is number 24, Cassie Turner.
Number 24, Cassie Turner into
number 16,
the game. Cron will depart. Here's Seehafer, left-footed, and I think that's going to be yet another corner. It is. It's going to be the third corner of the half, third corner of the game here for the Wildcats. Nicely done by Seehafer that time.
This will be their third of the game.
I believe that was Gonerway that conceded the corner, but she had to, as Seehafer had done a nice job of getting on to that ball.
Jensen, number 12.
Mal Jensen's going to take this ball from the corner, a right foot in swinger. It's going to come out and land around the penalty area. It's going to be flicked in by Turner. And it's going to land in Swidarski's hands. Ball comes across for Valaga and gets over her head. As Eastridge has an opportunity here. Oh, and a penalty awarded to Eastridge. Oh, there was contact. Oh, it's unlucky for the Wildcats. There was contact. I did not see which player committed the foul. But it's going to be a penalty kick to Eastridge. Valaga going to be tested here. Elle Wildman, the sophomore midfielder, is going to take this penalty for the Raptors. There was contact in the back, and the Raptor player went down, and that made an easy call for the referee. And that ball is sent wide. It's a missed penalty for Elle Wildman as her teammates console her, and that's certainly going to be a missed opportunity. Raptors definitely going to miss that later in the game. You imagine it's going to be a close game the way it's been played so far, and though it's an opportunity, it won't present itself again. A lot of pressure there on the sophomore, and it slid wide. Yen Lee is back in. Macy Bray, number 14, also in for the Wildcats, as Jensen has a seat. The Wildcats dodge a huge bullet with a missed penalty. I was watching the Wildcat bench. There was not a strong reaction from the Wildcat bench. I think that was probably the right call. There was contact, and what had happened is there had been some substitutions for the Wildcats, and it looked like they were a little disorganized in terms of being disorganized at the back, and as a result, it looked like the East Ridge really had an opportunity, and the foul certainly helped break up that opportunity. But any contact to the back of a player, referees are going to make that call very, very quickly. As Swidarski has the ball, is in a little bit of trouble there, being pressured by Matzik. Check it, that's not Matzik. That is Macy Bray, forgive me. So Wildcats dodge a big bullet as the East Ridge Raptors send a penalty into the protective fencing behind the goal. This ball's going to get away from the Raptors. It's going to get away from Bolstead.
Substitutions, both teams for the Wildcats. Addison Tanner, number 7, is in the game. Going out, Kylie Weisendonner, number 17.
Weisendonner is going to depart for the Wildcats.
Substitutions for the Raptors into the game.
Addie Tanner's going to make her varsity debut as that ball comes over the top from Cassie Turner, and it's in the possession of the goalie. It was in the possession of the goalie, and it was nothing there in terms of intent. Just two players going for the ball, not able necessarily to stop. But the goalie did. Swidarski did have control of that ball before it came loose.
Call on the Wildcats, free contact for the Raptors.
Turner there pressuring the defense. The ball's going to come up, and it's going to be Hobbs is going to watch it there. That ball's a beautiful ball over the top that time, I believe by Wildman. It's going to fall now for the Raptors, and they're going to see if they can create something, although the Wildcats, Yen Lee all over the Raptors. Yen Lee again with it. The ball's going to go out. We're going to have a Wildcat throw. I think most of the people close to the ball thought it was going to be a Raptor throw, and instead it's a Wildcat throw. Big throw there by Cassie. Excuse me, that's Enning. It's Olivia Enning. And forgive me, Olivia Enning last year played forward for the Wildcats, and now she's playing outside back. A change made by Coach Sherry Ekstrom to try to get the right players in the right positions. You see Wildman directing traffic. Nicely done that time by the sophomore. This ball is going to roll down into the corner, and he's going to put that out for a throw. Just over 13 and a half minutes to go here in this half. Score still 0-0. Primarily as a result of Wildman's missed penalty. And that ball's going to go deflecting off of a defender, and that's going to go out for a corner. So this will be the second corner for the Raptors. Second one of the half, second one of the game.
This will be from the near side. On the kick, Taylor Persby, number 16.
Taylor Persby, number 16, going to take it here for the Raptors. Going to see if she can find someone in tight inside as the Raptors now cross. And that's flicked away that time by Addie Tanner. See if Leitenberg can get to it. She does. Leitenberg's going with it. Leitenberg, one of those track stars I was indicating earlier, defending state champion of the 4x800. So she can run all day.
Substitutions for the Wildcats. Into the game, Angelina Illyria Yin, number 20.
Angelina Illyria Yin coming in for the aforementioned Leitenberg.
25. Going off, Ava Leitenberg, number 8, and Maddie Hobbs, number 10.
Hobbs is going to take a seat, and Inga Jolstrom is going to come on for her first varsity action. Enning from her outside back position, running that down. Nicely done by Olivia Enning. Not giving anybody an opportunity. Check that. Actually, Enning really might, is going to let Turner take this because Turner's got a big throw. Wildcats have 2 or 3 girls on their team that can throw this ball a long ways. And that time it gets flicked as Jolstrom sends it towards Yin. Yin shoots it wide.
Goal kick.
Wildcats, to finish the point, have a number of players, 2 or 3 in fact, that have really big throws that can really generate offense and opportunities. And Turner is one of those.
Number 20.
Addie Tanner going to pressure Kolstad there. Nicely done. Turns it over. Enning's going to have it. Send it towards the defense. And unfortunately, it did not find anybody in green for the Wildcats. Another throw, big throw by Turner. Fetsich's ball is going to get around. Here's an opportunity. Kira Waldrop watching the Raptors as the Wildcat defense runs back into shape and into position. And that was an excellent challenge that time by Enning. Enning did a nice job that time. It was a hard challenge, but completely clean. So Enning played the ball out and then looked like Penman. I think it's Penman. Hard to tell from this distance, but Penman got dumped, and fans certainly didn't like that, but again, clean challenges are what they are. That time Fetsich was looking for Seehafer, could not find her. That's Goldsworthy in the middle who swings it out wide. Some fancy footwork there on the outside by the Raptors. They've connected 2 or 3 passes now as that ball comes sliding in. Nicely done by Valaga. Valaga quickly off her line, alert to that danger. Raptors definitely showing that they're not going away despite missing that penalty. Ball gets flicked over, falls for Tanner. Tanner's going to run with it. She's going to see if she can get around the defender. She's not going to be able to. That was Taylor Pursby, number 16 for the Raptors, doing a nice job of using her body to shield off the smaller player.
Back in the game, number 16, Kate Cron.
Kate Cron's going to come back in and now play outside back.
Enning, number 5.
I think she's going to be playing outside back and relieving Olivia Enning. As Yin's going to take the throw on the far side. It's going to fall for Seehafer. Seehafer's going to look for her teammate in the middle. It's going to get bounced around. As Jolstrom steps up and flings it towards goal, but just didn't quite get it what she wanted on that. Next game for these Eastview Raptors is this Saturday, the 27th. They play at Blaine at 5 o'clock. And the Wildcats will be traveling this Saturday to St. Michael Albertville for a 2 o'clock game, an afternoon tilt. Ian Lee going to calm things down, and here's Ange Yin. That ball's going to come for Seehafer. Seehafer has got a line. She's looking for somebody in the middle. And that ball's going to go off of, unlucky that time. She served it in, and the rebound came off and hit her and rolled out. Ball comes in. I think that's going to be, I'm surprised. I'm actually a little surprised there. I thought that was going to be an offsides call. And nonetheless, the Raptors doing a nice job of working that forward. Wildcats do clear it, looking for Seehafer. That ball comes flying towards the midfield. And I think we're going to have a handful of substitutions. Looks like 4 new players for the Raptors. Looks like Matzik and Hobbs for, Matzik and Jensen for the Wildcats. And here comes Also, here comes Cassie Turner, I believe, back onto the field as well. Check that, that's 21. That's Anna Enning.
Substitutions.
It's early in the season for the commentators as well, ladies and gentlemen.
Ava Schmidt, number 22, is in the game. Sydney Weber, number
Schmidt,
20, is in
Weber,
Ella Lefebvre,
Beckers and Lefebvre are all in the game now here for the Raptors.
Is Genevieve Bolstead, number 25.
Matzik's going to shield the ball off there. It's going to come down for Jensen. She's going to chip it over the top. Look for Yin. Couldn't quite make that connect.
Hobbs, number 10, and Anna Enning, number 21.
Fairly even first half. Just under 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Both teams have had a few opportunities to try to create offense. Wildcats haven't always hit the target. And Swidarski's done a nice job coming off her line to deny the Wildcats opportunities as that ball's being played within the midfield. It comes back for Waldrop. She's going to chip it over everybody looking for Matzik. Ball's going to land out of bounds. Raptors have had a couple of opportunities as well. Haven't troubled Valaga too much. But they've exposed a defense in the Wildcats, on the Wildcat defense, that is maybe still figuring out exactly where their spacing needs to be. And of course, the missed penalty may loom large in a 0-0 game. How can it not? Valaga's going to find Jolstrom in the middle. Jolstrom now playing that defensive midfield position. And that ball comes in. That ball is going to come towards Cron and Valaga. Valaga is going to send that out towards the sideline. You like Cron's chances to run that ball down given how fast she is. Ball comes in, finds Jensen. Can Jensen get control of it? Her first touch lets her down, but she's got an opportunity. It's a 3-on-2. That ball comes through for Matzik. Matzik takes one touch. Can she finish with the left foot? Oh, brilliant tackle. Absolutely brilliant tackle. It's danger's not over. That ball goes across the goal face and is going to go out for a corner. But that was an absolutely brilliant tackle. Could not tell who it was for the Raptors. But what a brilliant job of taking it off Matzik's foot. Matzik had made a brilliant run after the ball was slid through by Jensen. And the ball comes across, and Jensen will take an outswinging right foot kick. See if somebody in green can get ahead to it as the ball comes in. Raptors trying to push up, see if Jensen can get it towards the goal. It's going to fall again, and I think that's going to find the netting in the back of the stadium. Unlucky that time. But it was a brilliant tackle not to concede the corner, to take the ball, to make sure that Matzik didn't have an opportunity. It might have been the Wildcats' best opportunity. That ball's going to get flung well out. Nicely done as Yin jumps on that quickly, and it's going to actually be a green throw. First action for both of these squads here this season. Lots of clutching and grabbing there, but certainly no foul. That was Enning. Anna Enning, who had slid up into a forward position.
Whistle foul called on the Wildcats.
Probably the easiest foul that referee Zachariah Eli will have to call all night. It's always good when the offending player raises her hands like, you got me. Waldrop gets under that one, sends it towards Matzik. Matzik didn't quite get back to it, and the ball's going to find its way towards the sideline, but did not go out. Now Matzik has an opportunity. Yin is on the overlap. Enning is screaming for the ball in front of Matzik. Matzik sends it towards the defense, but could not find Jensen, but nicely done by Jensen. That comes off the back of a Raptor player. It falls for Matzik, and Matzik cashes in. Nicely done that time by Caitlin Matzik. Never give up on a ball, never give up on a play. And with just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half, Caitlin Matzik scores to give the Wildcats a 1-0 lead. I think the assist is going to go to Mallory Jensen, who had sent the ball in. Nicely done that time by Matzik. Swidarski had an initial save, but then Matzik was able to keep powering, and I think that's one of the advantages we saw last year with Caitlin Matzik. She's strong. She has a low center of gravity,
The first goal of the season for the Eagan Wildcats,
and she has strength.
13, Caitlin Matzik. The assist to number 12, Mallory Jensen.
There's an opportunity for Seehafer. Seehafer's running by everybody. She's going to put her right foot to it, and it's going to slide just wide.
Minute, time of the goal, 37
Check it, that was not Seehafer.
seconds.
That was Courtney Bumpers, who had somehow snuck into the game without letting
Wildcats
me know.
goal scored by Caitlin Matzik. The
Matzik
assist,
from
Mallory
Jensen
at
in the 38th minute. And how that missed penalty looms large now as the Wildcats take a lead. Question for the Wildcats now is, are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator? Can they continue to play the kind of soccer that they need to play to beat a good East Ridge team? Sorry, East Ridge fans. Sometimes when you're an Eagan guy or you're on the Eagan crew, you you have Eastview on the brain a little bit.
1 minute.
1 minute remaining here in the first half. We're going to see what happens here. Swarovski is going to come out and claim that. But credit to Matzik, there were two East Ridge defenders that were, I would say, on top of her, but they were awfully close, putting a lot of pressure on her. And for her to get that ball off and float it into the back of the net was nicely done. First goal of the season here for Caitlin Matzik. Now, interestingly enough, leading scorer last year for these Eagan Wildcat girls had 4. That's right, 4 goals. Now, they had a number of girls who had 4 goals and a number of girls who had 3 goals, but Coach Sherry Ekstrom is going to impress upon the need of the forwards and midfielders to get more consistent offensive production. It'd be nice. She would like to see one or two of the players really step into the role of scoring goals as we near the end of the first half. He's going to intercept that and swing it all the way across the field for Cron. Cron's going to take a touch, send it forward for Bumpers. Bumpers is going to make a run, but I think we're going to run out of time here. And we do run out of time, and that is the end of the first half. A missed penalty by Wildman in the 12th minute.
After 40 minutes
excuse me,
of play, the
17th minute. And then a goal by Caitlin Matzik from Mallory Jensen in the 38th minute. And the margin is 1-0 to the Wildcats. We're going to step aside here at halftime. 1-0 to the Wildcats. East Ridge versus Eagan Girls High School Varsity Soccer. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes for the second half. Thanks for joining us here on ETV.
Cops and Bobbers is designed to offer opportunities for kids that may not have a chance to fish to come out to some local lakes in Eagan and experience some of the fisheries that we have. And they'll be spending time out in the boats with some of our officers. They'll be spending time fishing from a pier behind us. And then they're also going to get to see what we do on a daily basis.
I came out to learn a little bit about fishing and talk to the police, see a little bit about how they interact with the community. It's a way to see that the police are good guys, that they care about the community and care about, making memories with family and with the community.
You might only see us on your worst day. This gets to show you that we are people. We're invested in this community, and it's a way for us to give back.
We need to connect with our youth a lot more. One of the best ways of doing that is this Youth Leadership Academy.
It's not like boring school presentations, it's informative and it's fun.
We went to a hotel and examined a mock crime scene, and we had to find pieces of evidence.
It was an outstanding event. It was an outstanding group of kids, just remarkable, and to be part of something like that, huge.
This is an important time for them when they are in high school and making important decisions in terms of what they're going to do, what they're going to study, but also how they can start contributing with their communities.
I know that no matter what field I go into, I will be a very good leader there because of this.
I go to the gym like every day. I usually utilize the free weights. I do some of the stationary equipment as well. I also utilize the indoor track. If you're an Eagan resident, do yourself a favor and check out the Eagan Community Center.
Cops and Bobbers is designed to offer opportunities for kids that may not have a chance to fish to come out to some local lakes in Eagan and experience some of the fisheries that we have. And they'll be spending time out in the boats with some of our officers. They'll be spending time fishing from a pier behind us. And then they're also going to get to see what we do on a daily basis.
Came out to learn a little bit about fishing and talk to the police, see a little bit about how they interact with the community. It's a way to see that the police are good guys, that they care about the community and care about, making memories with family and with the community.
You might only see us on your worst day. This gets to show you that we are people. We're invested in this community, and it's a way for us to give back.
You go to the gym like every day. I usually utilize the free weights. I do some of the stationary equipment as well. I also utilize the indoor track. If you're an Eagan resident, do yourself a favor and check out the Eagan Community Center.
Welcome back, soccer fans, to Eagan High School Stadium. My name is Nathan Cron here with our award-winning ETV crew, and we're here to bring you the second half of East Ridge at Eagan. Score right now stands Eagan 1, East Ridge 0. East Ridge with an opportunity to get on the board earlier in the game with a penalty, but it was missed. Eagan came back in the 38th minute. Caitlin Matzik buries one in the back of the net on a gritty type of, almost you'd call it an ugly goal, but I don't think there's anything such a thing as an ugly goal in soccer, from Jensen, and that gives the Wildcats their 1-0 advantage. Getting ready for another 40 minutes here in the second half. Coach Bunnell's got his East Ridge Raptors kicking off here, going from left to right with the white uniforms and gold numbers. Wildcats, of course, in their home greens with blue numbers. We do have a change at goalie. And forgive me, I cannot pick up the number. It is number 1, Malin Goodson, in goal now for the Raptors. Referee Zachariah Ali blows his whistle, and we get started. Cron's going to have it there in the corner, going to send it up for Leitenberg. Leitenberg's going to send it right up the line. Nicely done that time, finding Seehafer. look for Hobbs. And that ball's going to be sent deep now for the Raptors to make a run. It's going to slide well wide, not even a shot on goal that time. But the Raptors certainly going to do whatever they can here to generate some offense early, you would imagine, in this half. Waldrop puts her foot to it, takes the goal kick, and finds Jensen in the middle of the park. Comes down for Lee. But it's intercepted that time by the Raptors as Cron smothers it, sends it forward for Seehafer. And here's Josie Seehafer. She's got a run. She's going to chip that forward for Caitlin Bumpers. Bumpers with it, has it on the outside of her right foot. Finds Seehafer. Seehafer with an opportunity. She's going to send it towards goal. And that time nicely done by Goodson, smothering it up. She was deep in her goal, but Seehafer managed to find her on that shot. Bumpers doing a nice job of laying that ball off for Seehafer. And Goodson equal to the task. Again, welcome to everybody joining us on our stream. Whether you're an East Ridge supporter or a Wildcat fan, thanks very much for joining us. It's good to have you here in a celebration of all things athletic, all things student athlete. Both of these teams featuring in all academic honors last year. Very high grade points. Lee and Enning figuring out their spacing, and now the ball comes down for, that's Seehafer. Seehafer has it taken away from her. But it's intercepted there by Enning. And apologies, it's Anna Enning who has been playing outside in the back, and Liv Enning, her older sister, has been playing in the forward position. We were informed at halftime that there was a little bit of a mix-up in the program, or excuse me, not the program, but the printed roster. As a result, a little bit of confusion, not only for our stadium announcer, but for yours truly. In any event, Enning's on the field, and we're playing soccer as this ball now comes to senior captain Yen Lee. Lee finds Hobbs. Hobbs is going to send that over for Leitenberg. Tried to find Bumpers, and that ball came trickling back out. Bumpers took a little bit of a push in the back there, nothing too hard. I mean, Kaylin's just too strong as that ball tries to get across. Excuse me, Courtney Bumpers. That ball tries to get across as Lee is left alone. Ball comes back, finds Waldrop. Waldrop nicely done, chipping that forward. Cron and Waldrop forming that center back combination. The ball now falls for Lee. Someone's going to have to go out there and challenge her, and it's Yen Lee. Hobbs now with it. Her has an opportunity, slides it in. A shot's going to come off. It's going to slide well wide. Well-worked shot that time by East Ridge.
Shot for the Raptors with Penman number 17.
It was Penman number 17, the freshman forward, with a nice well-worked shot that time. But the defense for the Wildcats did a nice job of knocking her off her pace, not letting her set her feet necessarily. This ball falls for Seehafer. Leitenberg over in the overlap. It's going to drift out of bounds. Bolstead puts it into play. Finds Wildman, L. Wildman, the sophomore. Almost intercepted there by the Wildcats, by Enning. Cron's got to have to cover. Cron does a nice job. That's a good tackle by Cron. Now she's going to return and come to her shape. That ball's sent towards goal. It is a shot. It is a shot on goal, but it's not overly troubling there for Valga. But Valga's ball's intercepted that time. An opportunity for the East Ridge Raptors. And that was Kozlowski, I believe, number 11. With a shot that went across the entire goal face.
Two substitutions for the Wildcats. Caitlin Matzik.
Matzik's going to come in.
And number 25, Inga Jolstrom.
And Jolstrom is also going to check back in.
Courtney Bumpers and number 11, Yen Lee.
But Valga is going to have to make sure that that ball, when it comes out, it finds somebody with a green uniform. Otherwise, there could be a 911 type of emergency on the defensive end. There's a great opportunity there by the Eastridge Raptors. Well worked. That ball fell for Elle Wildman. Wildman had a lot of distance and a lot of room between her and the next defender. Wildcats are going to have to close her down, or going to have to close that down. What Raptors did was work it deep and then pass negative, meaning back up the field to create space. Right now, the Wildcats can't allow that to happen. That's certainly going to be a good way for these Raptors to climb back in this game. Another opportunity. Raptors work it wide, and yet another shot. Not on goal, but worrying pressure here in the first 6 minutes of this half for the Wildcats. Not really any good scoring opportunities, but certainly not a trend that Coach Sherry Ekstrom is going to want to see. Eastridge wins yet another ball. That's the third or fourth in a row. There's an opportunity here for the Raptors. Ball comes towards goal, and it's a goal. The Eastridge Raptors tie the game. I think it was Elvold. Caden Elvold. I think it was Caden Elvold on the far side. We're having to wait for the final official scorer. 47 minutes in, Elvold ties the game. And now we have a tie game as the Wildcats send a ball out behind Goodson. And the official scorer is going to be Caden Elvold from, I believe it's number 27, Maddie Schillings, an 8th grader.
For Eastridge, number 8, Caden Elvold. The assist to number 27, Maddie Schillings.
On a great opportunity there for Caitlin Matzik. Well worked that time by Seehafer. Sent it in. It's going to go out for a corner. Nicely done that time by the Wildcats. A good answer. Matzik, you fancy Matzik to score there. She wants that one back. Goodson did a nice job coming off her line. Corner comes in. It's deflected back. And teed up again. They're going to send it in again. It's in the mixer. It's going to be cleared out by the Eastridge Raptors. Nicely done that time. The ball's going to almost get by Waldrop, but Waldrop with great athleticism and great recovery there by the Wildcats. Look at Cron getting back into position, Leitenberg getting back into position as Enning now takes it from the far side. But Elvold nicely done from the 8th grader, and here's a great run. Here's an opportunity. Does Goodson come off her line? And she does. If she had hesitated any more, Enning was going to have that ball in on her with an opportunity to score. Nicely done that time by Goodson. I have to say, in the last couple of minutes, this game certainly has become something of an end-to-end kind of contest. She was onside. I cannot pick out which number that is, but that's side netting.
Shot taken by Caden Elvold, number 8.
Elvold, the goal scorer, had a nice opportunity there. Waldrop had sat deep and kept her onside despite the fact that she was behind the other defenders. Eagan defensive line is going to have to be careful there. She's already scored once. You can't allow a player like that to have another opportunity. This ball finds Jensen. And again, the Eastridge Raptors are able to somehow take that ball and win that ball. Ending with it. Snapshot right at Valaga. Nicely done that time, but don't trouble Valaga too much. Easy as you like. She claims it. This Wildcat defense has got to stay tight. Ball's going to get over the top. It's going to find Enning. Enning's going to send that forward. A little bit aspirational there by Enning. Could not quite connect with one of her teammates. That's going to find Anna Enning. I think we're going to have a push there in the back. Yep, and we will. So a foul there by Eastridge. Opportunity near the center of the field for the Wildcats to put one in. Seehafer lurking on the far side of the field, even with the defenders. She's going to make a diagonal run whenever she can. Ball gets sent forward. Leitenberg's going to find a way to get to a foot to that, as Kozlowski's going to give chase. And Leitenberg smartly and wisely puts it out. Real credit here to the Eastview Raptors, doing a nice job of climbing back in this game.
2 for the Wildcats. Angelina Ilaria Yin, number 20. And Cassie Turner, number 24, back in.
Cassie Turner and Ange Yin
number 41.
come back in, take positions in the defense. Ball gets sent in that time by the Raptors. It's a shot on goal, a little easy for Valaga. And the shots on goal.
The last shot for the Raptors, Bella.
Shots total 16 to 12. Raptors have certainly had more shots on goal here in this second half. As Turner sends it forward. It's flicked on that time by Leitenberg, but can't quite find a friendly foot. Jolstrom battling with it there. That ball gets sent forward. Waldrop's going to have to get on her horse to come run it down. Nicely done that time by Kowalski. Well, that's Wildman on the outside. And that's going to be a corner. Elle Wildman, the midfielder, doing a nice job of taking that ball, taking on the defender and earning the corner.
First of the second half. Kick will be from the
first of the second half here for the East Ridge Raptors, the third of the game.
On the kick will be Taylor Pursby, number 16.
Pursby, number 16, is going to take the kick here for the Raptors, and she's going to have a right foot, so it'll be an outswinger. I assume they don't take it short. They don't. It's an outswinger. It finds. I think that was Hobbs. It was one of the captains. Might have been Waldrop in the middle, and Valga claims. Eastridge are first to every ball as that ball comes floating forward. Matzik's on her horse. Is she going to be able to get? She does get to the ball. She sends it towards goal. It hits the upright, hits the post. Oh my goodness, Caitlin Matzik hits the post. The ball gets floated in that time by Seehafer, but Matzik hit the post. Unlucky that time by Caitlin Matzik. She did a magnificent job running down Gonerway and using her strength to push Gonerway out of the way. As Yin battles there against two Raptors. Balls for Jensen. Look at this. Jensen's got all sorts of room. She's going to serve it in. She finds one of her teammates in the middle. Couldn't quite get ahead to it. Was Enning. And that ball's going to go the other way. Now the Raptors will break. That ball's going to come sliding through past Jolstrom. It's going to find Valaga's feet, but nicely done that time by Matzik. Matzik making an emphatic statement that she's creating or trying to finish on scoring chances. And I think if you're Coach Ekstrom, yeah, you'd like to score there, but how many times do you shoot that ball and how many times do you hit the post? As Seehafer is now going to pressure Goodson. That ball's going to get over Enning's head. It's going to fall for Hobbs. Hobbs, the Division I North Dakota State commit. She's going to send that over for Matzik. Matzik's going to cross that over, and Matzik's going to get flagged for offsides.
Whistle, Wildcats offside.
Assistant referee Josh Hartwell, who will have the center position during the boys' game. On the far side, whistles for offsides. He's got a challenging job there, staring into the sun on the far side of the field. Other assistant referee Dan West here on the near side. And again, Zachariah Ali in the middle. It's a brand new season, and ETV is still your ticket to all the home games. Watch boys, girls soccer, girls volleyball, girls swim and dive, and of course football all season long. Visit EaganTV.com, Eagan-TV.com for more information. And if you're not following ETV on Twitter, you should. All sorts of opportunities, not only to find out what's going on, but also to volunteer here with ETV. And remember, ETV's got a YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, you're missing out. That's also, not only are you going to see recent broadcasts, but there's all sorts of material up there from past seasons as well. So take a look at the ETV YouTube channel. And if you are interested in joining ETV, doing some work with ETV, they're always looking for volunteers. They will give you a camera, and they make me look good by these broadcasts, and I'm sure they'll do the same for you. So join the award-winning ETV crew as Leitenberg takes this ball, runs it down. Seehafer is going to overlap. Inside to Matzik. Matzik outside to Seehafer. Seehafer has it on her foot. She's rubbed off nicely that time by the East Ridge defense. Leitenberg with her left foot's going to send that towards goal. Yin's going to jump for it, but is just not tall enough. And that ball is going to make it over to an East Ridge player. Yin Lee with it. She finds Hobbs. Hobbs going to take on a player. It was Goldsworthy. It's flicked in that time by Yin Lee, by Yin, and we're going to have offsides. Unlucky there. There was quite a group of humanity, quite a number of people there in the middle of that field near the edge of the penalty area. But the assistant referee did see a green player in an offside position who then played the ball. Looks like, I can't tell if we're going to get a substitution here. We are. Going to get a substitution here for the East Ridge Raptors. And it is actually not a substitution, as the Raptors were playing a little short. Elle Wildman comes back on the field. She had stepped off the field either to get a drink of water or to deal with an injury or equipment issue, but she's back. Yen Lee flicks that ball towards Seehafer. Seehafer is going to make a run. She's going to look for an opportunity. Finds Hobbs. Excuse me, check it. That's not Hobbs. That was Marcy Bray, number 14. Ball gets flicked forward there at that time for the Raptors, but it falls harmlessly at the foot of a green player. Here's Weisendonner. Weisendonner's going to send that ball forward. If that ball somehow squirts through, Seehafer was making a run. Wildcats have not put together passes here in the second half. They've not put together more than 2 or 3 passes here in the second half. And as we saw earlier in the game, the first half, when the Wildcats put together 2 to 3 passes, they tend to have a lot more success. This ball falls now. Bray has it, sends it for Ange Yin. Yin sends it in. She's going to look for an opportunity, and that ball is going to flick behind for a corner. So this will be the second corner of the half, the 5th of the game here for the Wildcats, as Angelina Yin's going to take this from the far side. Right-footed, so it'll be an out-swinging corner. I checked that. Weisendonner's going to jog over. She's going to take it.
Moving over to take the kick, Kylie Weisendonner, number 17.
Weisendonner's going to use her left foot. So it'll be an in-swinger as the Wildcats start at the top of the penalty area and now crash the goal. Weisendonner's ball comes in, finds an East Ridge Raptor head, and then gets cleared. Nobody in a green uniform could get on the end of that, as Waldrop, though, flags it down. We'll see if she puts it back towards goal, and she does. Although that time, it lands nicely that time for Bray. Bray finds Ange Yin on the far side. Check it, that was Weisendonner, forgive me. And now the Raptors are going to break again. Ange Yin is going to do a good job of slowing up the attack there. And it comes to really nothing there, although the Raptors do maintain possession. Wildcat defense have a few players behind them. Be interested to see how that all fits together. When defending, the Wildcats want to have a 4-4-2. When attacking, they want to have a 3-5-2. So that means the players have to dynamically shift based on who has the ball, where the ball is on the field. This ball finds Hobbs' feet. Hobbs does a nice job of moving around, looks for Leitenberg. Leitenberg, touch comes back to Hobbs. Here's a situation where Hobbs tried to cross all the way across the field, and Yen Lee was close to her. Lee might have been a good outlet there. And now they work a 1-2 with Bray and Yin. Matzik's going to pressure Going to pressure Gonerway in the corner. And I think we're going to have a foul, and we are going to have a foul as Yin gets tripped. So we're going to have a free kick for the Wildcats.
All called on Eastridge. Free kick upcoming for the Wildcats.
So this will be a dangerous position. This is even near the sideline. Very near the sideline, but about 10 yards out from the end line. So Weisendonner is going to take it. She's going to ask for her 10 yards. Assistant referee Josh Hartwell is going to actually jog in to save Zachariah Ali a run, which of course is a great way to ingratiate yourself to the center referee to prevent him from having a run over there. As Weisendonner stands over, now it's going to put a left foot to it, sends it in towards goal. Someone gets up to it. Seehafer's on the back post. I checked that was Leitenberg on the back post, and it rolled up, and she could not quite get her foot on it. Nicely done that time by Weisendonner. Credit to Leitenberg getting to the back post. Just couldn't quite get anything on it. Still 1-1. Just over 19 minutes to go here in the first half. Kozlowski checking back in. Schillings checking back in, the assist on the goal for the Raptors. A couple of other substitutions, we'll get those momentarily. Seehafer battling with Leitenberg. Weisendonner sends that well over towards Yin. A good idea, just didn't quite come off. Yin's going to pressure Gonerway. Gonerway a much bigger player, but Yin tenacious. Now a deep throw for the Raptors. I'm interested to see. She's got to go up the line, you would think. Should allow the Wildcats to play some very predictable defense. Oh, nicely done that time by, I believe that's Schilling. Ball comes back to Waldrop. Waldrop's going to send that forward. The ball gets by everybody. There's an opportunity for Oforsky. That ball comes in. And it's sent away by Waldrop to the corner, but still not out of danger. Ball gets flicked in. And it's Yen Lee sending it towards the sideline. She's going to try that again. Ball's flicked on. Oh, nice play there by Oforsky. Matzik with it. He's going to send that forward, looking for Seehafer. Seehafer, part of that state champion track team, relay team. Can run a long time, run fast for a long time. The ball's going to come in. Seehafer's going to find it. And it's flicked off of a East Ridge defender. So see Mallory Jensen and Olivia Enning checking in.
Mallory Jensen, number 12, back in, going off number 20, Angelina Illyria in. Also going off, number 14, Missy Gray.
Game has settled down just a little bit here, you have to say, as the ball finds Jensen, the newly checked in Jensen. Ball comes towards Matzik. It's played away that time by defender. Gonerway is on the outside. She's doing a nice job of sending that into touch. Just over 16 minutes here to go in the second half.
For the Wildcats, back in the game is number 21, Anna Enning.
Anna Enning back in the game.
Caitlin Matzik, number 13.
Replacing the goal scorer, Caitlin Matzik. Big throw into the box. Header away, header back in. Ball falls for Jensen. Ball's going to get away from Jensen. Go off for a white throw. There was a period of a few minutes in the second half here where it was very end-to-end, very frenetic, almost ragged for both teams. And that has settled down into a little more of a war of attrition. There have not been quite as many breaks, and just as I say that, of course, now East Ridge sending it across. East Ridge looking to send it deep. Waldrop playing a kind of a sweeper type of position, going to do a nice job of knocking that down and coming up with it. Here's Jensen with it to the outside. She's going to use her left foot to curl nicely back into the inside and chip it forward. Here's Hobbs. Comes off of Hobbs' uniform towards the side. Leitenberg was charging forward. That's going to be an opportunity here for the Wildcats as Leitenberg sends it forward for Seehafer. Seehafer is going to try to touch it around Schillings. Schillings gets the better of Seehafer and then earns the throw. You certainly get the feeling that maybe the next goal might be the deciding factor, as neither team is demonstrating a substantial amount of danger in the other end. As Lee's ball comes in. Yin Lee sent it towards goal, but from 30 yards out. Goodson claimed it easily. Enning, Lee. Looking for Weisendonner. Doesn't connect. Oh, nice move there. Nice move there by Schillings. Yen Lee with it again. Finds Weisendonner. Weisendonner has an option. Turns with her left foot. Chips it forward. But it slid through. Seehafer was on a great run. Oh, nice move there by Weisendonner. Weisendonner again looking for it. Can Seehafer find some help? She does. Nicely done. Here's a shot on. Nice save by Goodson. Malin Goodson, nicely done that way, taking away the angle.
Shot for the Wildcats, Mallory Jensen.
And that was Mallory Jensen with a big shot. Wildcats enjoying a little bit of a spell of offensive pressure here. Here's Jensen with it again. She's going to put the moves on, try to get to the middle. She does, but then loses the ball. Touch lets her down a little bit. Defense also takes a piece of it. The ball comes towards Turner. Sends it forward. Now the ball's sent to an unmarked Atkin, excuse me. Ball comes flicking in. She is clearly offsides. Kowalski is clearly offsides.
Whistle. Eastridge offside.
So a nice run that time, a nice counterattack that time by Eastridge comes to naught. But that'll certainly be the type of counterattack that the Wildcats won't want to see.
Free kick for the Wildcats.
Moving forward. Just under 12 and a half minutes now here in the half. Looking for Weisendonner. Hobbs. Hobbs starts and stops. Starts and stops again. Chips it forward. Hobbs just could not find Seehafer. Had a plan. It didn't come off.
Both teams for the Wildcats. Courtney Bumpers,
I see Courtney Bumpers
Emma
and Emma Fetzich
number 22,
for the Wildcats.
For Eastridge.
For the Raptors,
Wildman, number 13.
Wildman's going to come back on.
Elvold, number 8.
And Elvold, the goal scorer,
Penman, number 17,
as well as
Wildcat.
Penman. So a mix of older and younger here for Coach Bunnell.
Also for Eastridge, 23, Ella LaFay back in the game. Going out for 11, Bella Kozlowski.
Kozlowski coming off. Referee had to blow the whistle to stop play. Eastridge was still substituting and they were trying to take the throw, which everybody thought the substitutions were over, but in fact that wasn't the case. In any event, finds Fetzich's head. Chipped over the top by Waldrop. Falls for Enning. One thing you have not seen a lot of, with maybe an exception of Matzik, is you have not seen the Wildcats be extremely physical. You've seen a few tackles and some bumps and shoulders, but you certainly have not seen a lot of strong physical challenges yet. Raptors trying to mount some sort of offense here. Enning gets spun around. Here's an opportunity for the Raptors as they approach the penalty area. Still approach the penalty area. Here's an opportunity, and I think that's going to be a goal for the Raptors. Wildcat defense allowed the Raptors to move in. I could not see, and we'll have to get the official scoring here, and forgive me for not picking that up, but there were a lot of bodies, and she was able to walk into the penalty area, even into the goal area, send it on goal. Valaga stopped the initial shot, but the rebound was just sitting there, and no one could get a foot to it to clear it. And now it's 2-1 in favor of Eastridge with 10 minutes to go here in the second half. And it's going to be Ella Lefebvre, the senior forward, number 23, from Ellie Wildman. So it's 2-1 to Eastridge.
Scoring for Eastridge, number 23.
Ball comes floating in here for the Wildcats.
The assistant, number 13, Elle Wildman. In the 70th minute, the time of the goal is 69 minutes, 53 seconds.
In the 70th minute, Lefebvre pulls the Eastridge Raptors into the lead, 2-1. And defense just allowing too much space for the Raptors as they approach that goal. And did not get a clearance. Turner with the foul.
Ball call on the Wildcats. Free kick.
The Wildcats are going to have to do something here in the next couple of minutes to try to mount some offensive pressure. You certainly don't want this to go into the waning minutes, because there's just over 8.5 minutes remaining. Wildcats are going to have to get a little creative. This will be a good opportunity here for Coach Sherry Ekstrom's team to step up and be creative. Certainly you would imagine the seniors, Matzik, the senior captains in particular, Matzik, Hobbs, and Yen Lee would figure in that play. Seehafer sending on, Coach Ekstrom sending on Seehafer and Yen Lee, I think. That ball's going to go out for a throw. So Seehafer is going to come on.
Both teams for the
Matzik's going to come on.
Kayla Matzik, number 13. Josie Seehafer, number 18, back in. For the Raptors, Elise Herr, number 12, back in.
Nicely done by Matzik to win that. She's going to do what she can. Here's an opportunity. Wildcats are going to win this race. Served in, nicely done. Oh, nice job by Goodson that time. Well done coming off her line as Seehafer was lurking. That was a beautiful ball. I believe that was Enning on the far side. Yes, it was. It was Olivia Enning on the far side. Took the ball from Matzik and served it in very, very quickly. As Leitenberg battles there on the inside. And that ball comes out. It's going to come off of Waldrop. He's going to go out for a throw. Wildcats didn't trail too often here at Eagan Wildcat Stadium last season. Did lose a couple of games, but for the most part, handled their business pretty well here. That ball is sent forward by Leitenberg, and you imagine the Wildcats will take every opportunity they can to send this thing forward. And that ball goes off of Gonerway. It's an opportunity here for the Wildcats. The ball's going to fall now for the Wildcats at the center. That's 22, Emma Fetzich. She's going to send that over to the side, looking for Matzik. Matzik ridden off the ball there. Nicely done. Eagan Girls JV team defeated East Ridge 3-0. earlier in action. And don't forget, we've got the boys game coming up here at approximately 7 o'clock. As both the East Ridge and Eagan boys are now
For the Raptors,
leaving
number
the stands, and they're going to go start warming up.
back in, going off, Brooklyn Connerway, number 41.
Right now, the Wildcats need to create some offense. They're going to have to create it quickly. Here's an opportunity. Matzik's going to make this run. It's going to get out of bounds away from her. Real credit to the Eastview Raptors for climbing back in this game. A missed penalty and a 1-0 deficit. Certainly going to test teams, and Raptors have to feel good about the way they've responded here in this game. Of course, the game's not over yet, and the Wildcats certainly have the firepower and the ability to score more. But right now, the Raptors enjoy a 2-1 lead. Leitenberg's going to look for Seehafer. Leitenberg hit that just a little too hard. That ball's going to come out. Oh, nicely done that time on the back line. Falls for Hobbs. Hobbs is going to have that chipped around her. Leitenberg's going to have to run hard to get back. Tackle there, shoulder to shoulder on the side. Intercepted. Too many intercepted passes for the Wildcats, just not connecting. Ball's going to come across, and the defense caught napping. Ball comes across. She has an opportunity. That was a clean challenge. An absolutely clean challenge and a dangerous play. Dangerous play there by the East Ridge Raptors. Wildcat defense absolutely bailed out there and I did not get what number that was. I could not tell if that was Goldsworthy or who that was, but defense just gave too much space. The ball's going to go out of bounds. Just over 3.5 minutes now to go in the game. We're going to have a stoppage during the substitutions.
Clock is stopped for
Ian Lee's going to come back in.
Substitution in the final 5 minutes. Team with the lead. Clock stops for their sub.
And Kozlowski's going to come back in and play outside back.
Back in.
Check it. Nope, she's coming in at forward.
Kozlowski.
So the Wildcats are going to have to do something here, creative, to try to imagine, though, that a well-coached team, this team is well-coached and should be very athletic, is very athletic, and should have an opportunity. That ball comes sliding in, and East Ridge missed an opportunity there. I could not see the number. I think it was Pursby. Penman. It was Penman, number 17, not number 16. Apologies. But there's an opportunity to put one on goal, perhaps even put this game out of reach. Instead, the Wildcats live to fight another day, and that ball is going to be hoisted forward. Imagine the Wildcats here are going to be in press mode. Here's an opportunity by Enning, and he's going to chip that forward. Here's an opportunity for Seehafer. Seehafer with it. She gets knocked down, and we're going to have a penalty. And it's a penalty. Is it a penalty or is it not? Where did the foul take place? The referee's going to have a talk. The foul probably looked like it started to take place outside the penalty area.
Foul on East Ridge.
And it is going to be a free kick for the Wildcats, just outside.
Clock is stopped.
Just outside the penalty area. The clock is stopped with 2 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. The center referee is going to jog over to his assistant. I think we also have an injury. Yes, we do have an East Ridge Raptor down, laying on her back at about the 40-yard line on the far side of the field. The center referee, Zachariah Ali, has conferred with his assistant referee, and it is going to be a free kick, not a penalty, as the foul began outside of the penalty area, even though Seehafer fell inside the penalty area. This is a real this is the opportunity that the Wildcats needed. There are just over 2 minutes to go. Even if that free kick does not find the back of the net, there are opportunities here for rebounds. So the Wildcats are going to have to absolutely be moving. As soon as this ball's kicked, they're going to have to be looking for rebounds. As Weisendonner's over it, it's sent towards goal. Nicely done by Goodson, pushing it away. And the ball is flicked away, comes to Waldrop. Waldrop flicks it back in. I think Edding knew that she was offsides and wasn't going to make a play on that ball. But a nice save by Goodson. That was a nice free kick from in close. Not much of an opportunity, although there was something of a rebound. Edding loses the ball. Yen Lee sends it, also trying for it. It gets sent forward. Turner's going to look for it out there. She's going to find Edding. Edding's going to flick that forward. Ball's going to stay in bounds and doesn't. So the Raptors are going to have an opportunity here with just under 90 seconds to remain in this game. That was an opportunity, real opportunity for the Wildcats. And East Ridge is going to do whatever they can to use as much time as possible. Smartly done, flicking it forward, keeping it on the sideline. Not giving the Wildcats a chance. Wildcats need to pressure this ball. I'm not sure why they're backing up. They need to pressure the ball, otherwise they're not going to have an opportunity as we're in the last minute of the game. This ball is going to come for Leitenberg. Leitenberg is going to get on her horse. She's going to carry. She's got big room in front of her. She's going to look for an opportunity to get this ball forward. No foul called. No foul called there, despite the fact Leitenberg looked like she took an arm up high. Nothing in it, but might have been a foul. Ball's going to come for Hobbs. Hobbs is going to have to send this forward. She's going to find Yen Lee. Lee's going to send that forward. That ball's going to slide in from Jensen. Jensen made a run, but Goodson, Malin Goodson, nicely and smartly, alertly off her line. Edding flicks the ball out.
10 seconds.
And that's going to do it for this game as the Raptors are going to put this ball back in.
3, 2, 1.
And that's how we're going to finish. The East Ridge Raptors have defeated the Eagan Wildcats here 2-1 in the opening game of the season. Goal by Caitlin Matzik, set up by Mallory Jensen, offset by Elvold and Lefebvre for the Raptors. And the East Ridge Raptors doing what is necessary to get the win tonight. And the Wildcats are going to have to regroup a little bit for their trip to St. Michael Albertville here on Saturday. Thanks for joining us here on ETV. Should certainly mention our crew. Josh Sibley, Greg Borman, Paul Winkles, and Michelle Nielsen. Again, our award-winning ETV crew bringing you Eagan soccer action. We've got the boys game coming up in probably about 20 minutes. So hopefully you'll stick around and we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us here on ETV. Final score, East Ridge 2, Eagan Wildcats 1.
Special thank you to our visitors from East Ridge. And the next game for the Wildcat Girls Soccer team will be this Saturday at 2 o'clock. The Wildcats will be at St. Michael Albertville for a non-conference game. The girls varsity game will kick off at 2 o'clock on Saturday, followed by the boys game at St. Michael Albertville at 4 o'clock. Coming up next for Wildcat Stadium, the conference boys varsity soccer Eagan Wildcats and the East Ridge Raptors. They will start in about 25 minutes.